for coming. For most of us here, there is the world before October 7th, and there's the world after October 7th. This new world, after October 7th, exposed us to the horrors and the atrocities committed against our children and families, our elderly and friends, our loved ones, our people, and our homeland. The world after October 7th left us in shock. In shock of the sudden collapse of our security, in shock of our own vulnerability. It left us isolated, alone in our realization that the rush of world support vanished overnight as we prepared to rescue our people from the hands of terrorists and stand up against evil to defend the Holy Land. Here in Asheville, a few remarkable things happened after October 7th. Israelis living here, each of them had thought they were almost alone in Western North Carolina. They discovered dozens of other Israeli families and individuals and came together to support each other. Meanwhile, a terrible sense of betrayal and surrealness overtook the American Jewish community. As we mothers and fathers watched our children reel from a tidal wave of Jew hatred erupting in our schools and on our college campuses. But we came together. After October 7th, the memes spread across social media. We Jews didn't realize how little the world cared for us. But we didn't realize how much we cared for each other. And yet, our most devoted friends turned to us to express their own outrage, their own fears, their concerns, and then they asked us what they could do to help and what we could do together to make a difference. Out of these remarkable events, the Jewish Alliance coalesced to build a broad community that can respond to our changed world. We've developed a network to address the rampant anti-Semitism. We successfully lobbied our elected officials at the local, state, and national levels for legislation, for proclamations that would protect the Jewish community in our time of crisis. We've created powerful events that unite those that stand with Israel. And that's how we got here today, together. Thank you for being here and thank you for joining us. We have several leaders in our community who have honored us by coming here tonight to bear witness to the events of October 7th. Please join me in thanking them. Our representative in the new North Carolina General Assembly, who got major legislation passed for us yesterday, and Democratic candidate for U.S. House of Representatives, that's Caleb Rudow, but I think you guys know him. We also have Buncombe County Commissioner Chair candidate and former Sheriff Van Duncan here. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Ralph Sexton, who has steadfastly supported Israel for 50 years, and his church, Trinity Baptist Church, raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for Israel in the immediate days following October 7th. Rabbi Meiri is here from Congregation Beth Hatafila. Rabbi Suskin from Chabad. Rabbi Levine of Congregation Beth Israel. And I'd like to acknowledge Rochelle Rich, the Executive Director of Beth Israel. We came to Rochelle with an idea as we were talking about bringing somebody, and I texted her and said, could we have an event at CBI? And she texted me back, yes, without even knowing what it was. We'd also like to thank Police Chief Mike Lamb, Captain Joe Silberman, Officer Joe Jones, who was out front, the Asheville Police Department has our backs, and they've let us know that they're watching and keeping us safe. Thank you. We have people in our community whose family members are still being held hostage. And we have people in our community whose friends were massacred. I also want to thank those who helped organize this evening. Every single one of them donated to make this event happen. Would you guys please stand? Thank you for being here, together with us, together in community, supporters, allies, friends, and family. I'm Israel Chai.
I was in Israel on October 7th when the world collapsed. But somehow, the sun rose. I was supposed to say, I'm Naomi, and I'm an American Israeli. I'm sorry, most of you know that. I was in Israel on October 7th when the world collapsed. But somehow, the sun rose again, and it was October 8th. On Israeli TV and radio, we began to hear stories of the survivors and of the heroes who flew to the south, risking their lives to save our people. Their love, their courage, their stories helped us begin to heal. Meanwhile, on October 8th, the sun also rose again, here in Asheville, in Pack Square. And anti-Israel protesters claimed in Pack Square that Israel is currently carrying out a massacre of historic proportions against Gaza and throughout all of Palestine on October 8th. Protests spread throughout the United States calling for violence against Jews and the annihilation of the Jewish state. They chanted slogans like, "There is only one solution, Intifada, revolution," and carried signs that read, "Resistance is justified." Professors on campus expressed joy at Hamas's ingenuity, and administrations were silent. I knew we needed to bring survivors to testify in the United States. So I contacted a survivor, a friend of my cousin's who had spoken movingly on the radio, and I told her how important it was for Americans to hear her story. I asked her if she or other members of her kibbutz could speak English well enough to come to the States and testify. And she said, first, we need to be able to sleep through the night. We're not sleeping, we're barely eating. Give us time to heal. But healing has not come easily, and it takes courage to tell this story. And so I'm incredibly grateful to Gal Cohen-Solal for traversing an ocean and making it all the way over here to little Asheville to share the story with us so that we can begin to heal. And to Shoshana Rice, who's only 28 years old, and yet has organized this through the Faces of October 7th.
I'm always afraid that we show up and no one else will. So I really appreciate that you all came to listen to my story, to my and my family's story. So first of all, I would like to say thank you to all of you, and I really mean it. It means a lot to me, and I would like to thank Shoshana from Faces of October 7th to make it, she made it happen for me to come here. And yeah, you know, every time people are telling me that, and I'm going like that, and I'm going like that. So,
just get louder.
I will try, but I cannot guarantee that I will make it happen.
You're Israeli, you can be loud.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, that's true. Yes, so thank you very much. So what you heard on October 7th, it was Saturday morning. We celebrated Simchat Torah. It's a holiday, Sukkot, Chag Sukkot Sheni. Everything started then. I would like to, this is a map of the area, all right? In October 7th, more than 3,000 terrorists broke the border between us, to them, to Gaza. They entered Gaza, they entered Israel, and they start to enter all the kibbutzes and army bases in Gaza envelope. You all know what kibbutz is? Yeah? So okay, so for the people that doesn't know, kibbutz is a small socialist community. They entered all the kibbutzes as well, not only the army bases. We had no armed people on those kibbutzes. But what I really want to show you on this map is where Reim is. This is Kibbutz Reim. This is where I live. Kibbutz Reim is exactly in the middle. After they captured some of the terrorists inside the kibbutz and after the IDF captured and investigated them, why they came, so many of them came to Kibbutz Reim. They said Reim is exactly in the middle. They wanted to establish the front base like inside Reim. After they will take control all over Gaza envelope, they wanted to make Reim as the front base, as their headquarters, and they plan to go to the other big cities like Netivot and Ofakim and Ashkelon. Also, Reim was in Reim. Next to Reim, there is a very important junction where all the army and the police try to bring reinforcement into the war. This is why they send so many terrorists to Kibbutz Reim and this area. Well, me and my family, we moved to Kibbutz Reim on October 1st. So if you people think that you have a bad luck in your life, just remember the guy that came and told you that he haven't been for 1 week in Gaza envelope. We moved from a different kibbutz on the eastern part of the Negev. So pretty much that was our, they put a sign on our front door, Gal, Ayana, my wife, and our 3 kids, Israel boarding. Welcome to the Cohen-Solal family. This is from AK-47. I will go back to it later, and I will explain everything. So how's everything started for us? At 6:30, I started to hear lots of sirens and lots of rockets explosion. So I told my wife, it was early in the morning, I told my wife, okay, I'm gonna go, I'm getting into the safe room, prepare a suitcase. I'm going to the safe room with the kids, prepare a suitcase. We are leaving as soon as possible. It was very hard to leave the safe room for her to make a suitcase because there was like sirens. The sirens didn't stop. Eventually she made one. In about 7:30 a.m., a guy in a kibbutz, in our village, on each neighborhood, there is one guy that is in charge of. His name was Nadav, and Nadav gave me a call. He asked me if everything is okay. So I told him that 2 things. First, I don't have a vent, and there is no lid. Cover it from the other side, and I need a lid to close it. Otherwise, it will be open. And it's dangerous. We thought about from rockets and everything. And the second thing is that I asked Nadav if it's possible that me and my family will go. We leave the kibbutz. So what Nadav told me, he told me that there is many terrorists out of the kibbutz. There is a big war out of the kibbutz. I kept heard the shootings, but I didn't know that these shootings is like we're having a war out of the kibbutz. I thought that it's the IDF trying to attack the terrorists with shooting rockets on us. So Nadav told me that there is many terrorists out of the kibbutz, and what we have to do, we have to go inside the safe room, stay there. He told me to hold the safe room door. That was actually the first time that my life was saved. After we left, I saw all the cars on this road. They pretty much killed everyone on those roads. So Nadav pretty much, it was the first time he saved my life. If he would have told us, okay, God, you can go out, I would have gone, and they will, 100%, they would have shot us all. So this is how everything started for us. This is Kibbutz Reim. This is the front gate of Kibbutz Reim. It's 5 minutes before 8. This is a security guy that knew about what's going on, and he tried to enter Reim to help us. No one opened the gate for him, so we tried to escape. Now all of these are Hamas pickup trucks. Each one of them had at least 15 terrorists on it. He tried to escape. Of course, they killed him. It was too late for him. You see, there is many other pickup trucks that were supposed to enter in, but they continued to go on this road. Now they entered the kibbutz. You see how many pickup trucks there is on the junction, how many tourists there were. All of them were supposed to enter our kibbutz. They had AK-47s, they had machine guns, they had RPGs with them, RPGs, anti-tank missile. They had stretchers with them. They were planned to come for a long time, not only for 1 hour or 2. They bring food with them, they bring water. They planned to stay for long. The reason is that those cars stayed on this road instead of entering the kibbutz. Many of the Nova Festival was only about 1,000 feet from our kibbutz. It was very close. People from the Nova Festival tried to escape. So they moved to this road. And those guys pretty much, they shot them like ducks in a range. It was very easy for them. This is why they stayed outside. They stayed here. Afterwards, they entered the kibbutz, but meanwhile, they killed so many guys on this road. This is the road where you saw all the burnt cars and everything. It was on this road. You see, they had stretchers. They planned to come. They entered. They had first aid equipment. They had everything with them. In this time in the kibbutz, we had only 6 armed guys. That was our security team, 6 armed guys, like civilians, like me and you. Only with M16, that's it. This is the main gate, about 60 terrorists entered. We have video footage that from the back gate, another 60, 70 entered the kibbutz. This is how everything started. So they entered the kibbutz. This is video from our factory, video footage from our factory. They looking for civilians. There was not even one soldier or policeman inside the kibbutz. This guy has an RPG with him. There was no tanks inside the kibbutz. They had only one reason to enter our kibbutz. They searched for civilians. That's it, simple as that. They knew that in the kibbutzes, look how many they are. They're pretty much looking for people. It will be very fast, but this is our first kidnappers, the first people that they took as hostages from our kibbutz. They took them, it was 8:15. This is an aerial map of our kibbutz. That was our front gate. This is the road where you saw all the burnt cars and everything. This is the road, what I told you about the junction. All the army tried to come from this, all the army forces and the police tried to come and help us from this road. There was a very big war being held out of the kibbutz, and then it came into the kibbutz. They all went from here. They entered the kibbutz to this parking lot. All right, they knew exactly where to go. They knew exactly what to do. They knew exactly where is the commander of the security team live. They had everything. They had photos of our kibbutz. So this is our parking lot. This is my house, about 200 feet from where they established the front base. On every second during the October 7th, they had at least 30 people there, and they've been here and they entered the kibbutz and came back with their wounded, with their injured people to here. After we left, I spoke with one of the security team. His name was Asaf, and we spoke. And he asked me, "God, you know how my day started?" So I asked him how. He told me this is Asaf's house. He told me he went out of his house and he saw 10 terrorists lying here with their face towards the road. All right, instead of coming into the kibbutz, they stayed there. So many cars passed here and so many people that tried to escape the Nova Festival and the other kibbutzes trying to go on this road, and they killed them. All right, so he told me, I went out of my house. They were about 150 feet from me. And I started to show them on the back. And they didn't even understood. that there is an Israeli guy that shoot them from the back. They didn't understood that he's the one that's shooting them. But I'm very sorry to say that, and I'm always say that, but other people lost their life. My life being saved, but because of that, many of the terrorists went to the Nova Festival and stayed on the roads instead of entering our kibbutz. It's another reason that many of our life in the kibbutz being saved. That's not nice to say, but this is the facts. This is the truth. Well, that's my family. This is me, Yonatan Akatan. Yonatan wasn't even 3 years old. The twins, Omer and Rona, and Diana. Well, I'm always saying that Diana could have done much better. She compromised and settled down too fast. She could have been a better husband, but her fault, I don't care. Good for me, not for her. So this is my family. So about 8, they entered the kibbutz. At 8:15, we had in our WhatsApp group of the kibbutz, they said there was a message that Dver was murdered. Well, Dver was a good friend of mine, and I used to study with his wife. He lived about 300 feet from where I live. And they murdered him in front of his child's eyes, kid's eyes. And since that moment, I knew pretty much that what they are doing, they're moving from house to house and purifying it. We heard it, we heard all the shootings and the hand grenades, and it came towards us. And I just waited, I counted the minutes until they will come and kill me. They will come and kill our family. We're just waiting for your own death. I was shaking. My wife told me, "God, there is kids here. You have to gather up yourself and show your kids that everything is okay." But I heard all the shootings come towards us. Eventually, they were on our house. All right, I started to hear the screaming was in my balcony. We heard them. We heard the Arabic. The shooting started to hit my house, and I knew that this is it pretty much. I thought that I have such a bad luck, but I thought that it's so not fair for those kids to lose their life. They're still young. It's not fair for them. So I've been in the army. I served in Sayeret Golani. It's one of the best units that we have in the army. I've been under fire. I've been scared for my life. But to be scared for your kid's life, it's a whole different level. It's something else that I never thought that I would feel. It's something else. And I thought when they will show up, either first I told you there was a hole in our safe room. Pretty much they could have come and just throw a hand grenade from this hole and take us all down. And I thought that if I will see a hand grenade, I was ready for that, I will jump on it. At this point, I was 100% sure that I'm going to die. It wasn't, it was like that. I was sure, okay, I confirmed that I'm going to die. So I thought I will jump on the grenade. And the second thought was that if they will come, they will enter the house, I will get out of the safe room, and they will take me, or they will kill me, or they will take me as a hostage, but they will leave my family aside. now we know that it didn't really went well to other people, like the Bibas family. The father left out of the safe room, and after he left, they came back and took the mother and the two redhead babies. But this is what I thought. That's why I will save my family's life. I thought, I don't care about my life. It's only about them and about my wife. Eventually, they were on our door. It's like the angel of death trying to enter your house. They tried to open the door. The door was just a wood door. Pretty much all of you can kick it and break it. But they didn't. So they start to shoot on the door, and they start to shoot on the window next to my door, next to the front door. Our kids, the three of them, they were screaming. You can imagine yourself how frightening it is. They were afraid. But we explained them that we can't reveal ourselves, that they will not know that there is people inside. So the twins understood, they were quiet. But Jonathan Akatan, he was afraid. And you can imagine, so my wife had to put her hand on his mouth so she will be quiet, so he will be quiet. And at some point, she started to cry. You need to understand, we are all next generations for Holocaust survivors. And she said that it reminds her the woman that had to strangle her son, so the Nazis will not come into the house. And she thought about that, and she said, I cannot do that. If it's possible, please come and do that. So I came to Jonathan and I put my hand on his mouth, and every 10-15 seconds I took my hands off so he will breathe, and then I did it again. Eventually they left. They moved to my neighbor's house, and he forgot to lock the door. So they threw a hand grenade into his house. The hand grenade didn't explode, and this is what saved my neighbor's life, because they were afraid from their own grenade. This is why they didn't enter the house. Only in about 2:30 p.m. the army arrived. After 8 hours, that there were only the 6 guys and few policemen and soldiers that made it and entered the kibbutz to fight against more than 100 terrorists. The army arrived, and it was a bit of a relief for me, because there was a big war inside the kibbutz. But finally, I can notice the difference, because of my arm, I can notice the difference between AK-47 bullets to M16 bullets. And I start to hear lots of M16 bullets now. And I knew that now, instead of attacking civilians, they are trying to defend themselves from the Israeli army forces. But there was a very big war. Only at 6:30 p.m., after 12 hours, the army arrived. They broke my front door and entered to check that everything is okay in our house, that everyone's alive. They moved from house to house to check that everyone is okay. So I tell them, be aware that there is a hand grenade in the next house. So they went to my neighbor's house, Ben, and they started to call him. Ben didn't answer, so they asked me if I can come and if I can come and call him to get out of the safe room. So I went to his house, I called him, and he still didn't get out of the safe room. Eventually, after 10-15 minutes, he got out of the safe room, and I asked him, like, Ben, why didn't you answer? Why didn't you come out of the safe room? Ben told me that he saw a picture of terrorists taking a person from a different kibbutz putting a gun in his head and and they're walking with him, telling him, please call everyone to get out of the safe rooms. And he called everyone to get out of the safe rooms, and then the terrorists killed them. This is why he didn't want to get out. So because of the hand grenade, they moved to our safe room with his family. As I said, the safe room wasn't good. It wasn't like there was a hole and everything. It was too dangerous. So at 11 p.m., under fire, they moved us to another house, to a different safe room. We stayed with a couple that they were happy to host us. So they told me that they are so happy because their daughter was in the Nova Festival, and she left in Friday night, and they have so much luck that she left, and they were so happy about that, and they kept going on and saying that. So we stayed there. We went we spent the night there in their safe room. At 7 o'clock, 7 a.m., I made a breakfast for my kids, some fast breakfast, just like a bread and butter, something like that. And then 2 officers came. The 2 officers asked me to bring Shabtai and Milka from the safe room. And in front of my eyes, they told me that their son, Yuval, was murdered. They recruited Yuval to the army on October 7th, and he was killed on the way. You don't want to be there when parents hear things like that. That's it. Only at 2 p.m. after 32 hours, it was okay for us to get out of the safe room. This is few photos from my house. This is the bullet that you saw before. This is from hand grenade. This is my window, our front window. You see, they just start to shoot all over the window, just like that. This is from our house. This is bullets inside. There were many bullets. I couldn't print the wall. This is from our refrigerator. To be honest, I don't know which company this refrigerator is, but they can say that this refrigerator is bulletproof, and they can take the price. They can take the price up pretty easy. I can confirm that, there is a. So again, this is like many bullets all over our house. This is from RPG exploded next to us, so this is from RPG. When the army arrived, they had to mark that they cleaned this house. So this is those number. Pretty much everything was broke. As I told you, the IDF arrived, they broke the door. Same thing that the Hamas could have done, the Hamas terrorists, but they didn't. Pretty much what the difference between me standing here or being under the ground, being Gaza or being killed, it was this door. This is Kibbutz Reim. At some point, they start to burn the whole kibbutz, they start to burn all the cars to make lots of smoke. They thought that if they will burn the whole kibbutz, the smoke will enter our houses and we will get out of the safe room. So they start pretty much to burn all the cars in the kibbutz. This is from, I told you, this is a safe room, all right? This is from RPG missile, all right? There was one 19-year-old guy that was in the safe room. This is what they've done with the RPGs, okay? At some point, too many soldiers got killed inside Kibbutz Reim. So they entered houses and they were terrorists inside those houses. So the army bring tank to the kibbutz, and the tank start to shoot cannon shells on our own houses. Just imagine yourself, one day you wake up, you see a tank on the street shooting cannon shells on your own houses. It was pretty terrifying, but this is what we had to do, so we didn't, like, not to kill soldiers. Before I came here to this tour, I went for the first time to Kibbutz Reim. It was a bit hard for me, but I knew how important it is to bring videos from there. So this is how it looks. This is the house that you just saw. They took down the house. This is what I told you about the tank that took down the house. Now I'm entering the safe room, and you will see what the RPG did to the room. The poor guy that was there had no chance. There was a 19-year-old guy that rented this apartment, and this is how it looks like. No, this is another house. I will pause that. Now, many of the Nova Festival people entered, they escaped the festival and they entered our kibbutz. They thought that they will be safe in Kibbutz Reim and they will be protected. You see the numbers that the army put. I entered apartment 43. In apartment 44, there were 3 girls from the Nova Festival that tried to hide. The Hamas terrorists raped them, not by one or 2 or 3 terrorists, a group of terrorists. The guys from the cliff next to them, they heard the screaming for a few hours. And we have another guy from the kibbutz, and I spoke with him. He took the photos after death of what he saw. After they raped them, they killed them, and they burned the apartment. I didn't want to go into this apartment. It was too hard for me. Another thing, all the burnt apartments, you will see this sticker. It means that Zaka was there. Zaka, they are the one that checking for taking all the bodies and everything. And usually they're just using spray to write Zaka, and if there is a sticker, it means that there was burnt bodies, and they search on the ash for bones, teeth, and everything, so they purify it from those things. So another guy, the flag belonged to one guy. He also escaped the Nova Festival and he died there. But he tried to fight them, so they burnt the whole apartment to the ground with those poor guys inside. This is how it looks like. This is everything they burned it to the ground. This is another house. You see, this is the oldest olive tree in the kibbutz. It was burned. This is what they've done. They moved from house to house and burned it to the ground. It looks like that. You see, everything was melted. All right, you can see the thing. This is how it looks like after they burned. After they burned it, they entered the safe room and burned the safe room as well. This is how our safe room looks like. This is a house of a big family. The person that took this photo is a good friend of mine. This is a family house. This family had a daughter that she is 100% disabled. She only can lay over, she cannot even sit. The security team knew about that. So under fire, they managed to take the whole family from the window. So in the last minute, their life was saved. It was a complete family that their life was saved. And this is how it looks like. After more than 30 hours, we escaped. They are the real warriors, they are the real heroes. My kids, they behaved amazing. To stay for 32 hours inside the safe room, it's not easy. They were amazing. We took this picture as we left the kibbutz. Finally, they had a proper sleep. They could have got a proper sleep inside the car. As we left the kibbutz, we saw so many Hamas, like around 12 Hamas pickup trucks out of the kibbutz. We saw all the burnt cars that you guys saw on the photos. I saw many bodies. To be honest, some of them I don't even know if the bodies are soldiers, civilians, or terrorists. This is what happened. For us, we moved to Eilat. They told us to go to Eilat, to a hotel there, until they will tell us something else. So each one of us, we took our car and we went to Eilat. I would like to dedicate this lecture for two people. The first one is Roy Levy. Roy Levy is an American citizen. He born here in the United States. His family made Aliyah to Israel. Roy was my commander in the Sayeret, in my school, when I was in the army. That was the first time that Roy saved my life there in one rescue operation. The second time, Roy lived up north next to Nahariya. It's in the northern part of Israel. As he heard that there is a big war, he left everything and came to fight in Gaza envelope. He heard that there is a big war inside Kibbutz Reim, and he entered Reim. It was just him and another 3 guys that he managed to pick up. When he was next to this house. One of the terrorists escaped one of the houses, and he shot 7 bullets on his way. 6 of the bullets hit the tree, and the 7th hit Ray on his heart, and Ray died. It wasn't very far from where I live, and I'm sure 100% that was the second time that Roy saved my life. So I dedicated it to him. The second one is Shaoli Grenick. Shaoli Grenick is my wife's cousin and a good friend of mine. Shaoli Grenick was 26 years old. He discharged from the army, but he insists to go to fight in Gaza. He said that this is what we need to do now for our people. So we went there. In Hanukkah, he had 48 hours from like the war. And we went to his family's house we lighted up a candle together. And he sat with Shaoli outside, and he told me that every time that he feels sad or desperate, is thinking about our family and what we've been faced through, and thinking about my kids, and this is what gives him the strength and the power to move on and know that he's doing the right thing for us. And we finished, and Shirley took my kids to the car. We went to the car and we hugged them. And then before I entered the car, I gave him a hug, and I told him, Shirley, don't be a hero. We have heroes in Israel and in cemeteries. Shirley was a hero. Shirley was an officer. And instead of sending soldiers to one of the houses, he went by himself, and the house exploded and collapsed on him. He was a good friend of mine, and I really miss him. During the war, Shirley competed in the next star, Kochav Haba. It's like American Idol. It's a reality show in Israel. He went out, Shirley, for the first audition. He went out to do the audition, and he passed the first audition. For the second audition, he was inside, and he said, it's not the time for my dream. His dream was to be a singer. He said, it's not the time to achieve my dreams. My people needs me now. So he stayed inside instead of, dedicated it to him. That this was his first audition. He came with his uniform, with his dusty uniforms to the audition. And one was saying that he predicted his death. Guys, that was me, that was my story, my family story. I really appreciate that you all came. It means a lot to me. I'm really afraid that people will say that October 7th never happened. And It means a lot to me that you all came here and listened to me, and if each one of you will take even something small from what you saw here, I will really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would like that Shoshana will join me and she will say a few words about the organization that brought me here. And after that we will do some Q&A and feel free to ask questions. Please don't ask political questions. I'm not into it. The organization is not into it. Like in Israel, each one of us got a different opinion. David Ben-Gurion once said that like we have 2 million people with 4 million prime ministers. So each one of us got a different opinion. So I would like to call Shoshana to say a few words. Thank you again. Thank you very much.
He's incredible. After everything he's been through, to speak with such poise over and over again, it's amazing. We're so grateful to have him a part of this project. I just wanted to speak for a second to explain a little bit of context about the Faces of October 7th project, how we brought Paul here. It's basically me and one other young Jewish woman and a coworker and friend who started this back at the end of October, really. And over the last 6 months, we've been to over 200 different organizations around the world, mostly in North America. A lot of synagogues, Jewish federations, but also churches. We've been over 50 college campuses. And our dream is to keep going, but also to grow. We'd love to continue doing things like going to public high schools. We've done a few, and communities that don't have the funds to sponsor us coming. So we're trying to work on it and grow, and we've become an official nonprofit now. And so we're in the works of growing still. So if anyone wants to come talk to me afterwards, if you want to get involved or help contribute in any way, we have a GoFundMe page if you'd like to help us in that way. We're always looking for help and support, and thank you all again so much for having us and for everyone who helped put this together. We're really, really grateful to be here in Asheville and to meet you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but you will have to speak very loud so everyone will hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
How is your family group being in health? Are you still in the lab? Are you still in a hotel or have you been moved?
Well, we've been for 2 months in a hotel in the lot. After it was very hard for everyone. After 2 months, the whole kibbutz moved to live in 2 buildings in Tel Aviv. Me and my family thought it would not be a good idea, so we moved to, I work as a general manager of a cosmetic company in Kibbutz Reim. It's next to Asheville, also in the south. So they found an apartment for us, of a person that left for 1 year. So we moved to live in Hatzerim, in this kibbutz. Right before, a few weeks ago, they told me that they need an apartment and we have to move. Like the person that was living there is want to come back. So nowadays we have no idea. Like we're supposed to go in to live in July, something like that. We have no idea where to go to. To be honest, we are refugees in our own country. Maybe we will go to live in Tel Aviv, but I don't know if it will be the right thing for us. I don't know if you got a spare apartment, spare room here in Asheville. I will to Asheville. We'll be here for a while. The thing is that one second. At the beginning, we thought that in September 2024 we will be able to go back to live in Kibbutz Reim. Then they told us it will be only in December 2024 or January 2025. Now we will not be able to go back to live in Reim until September 2025. It's more than 1 year that we have to be out of our house. We don't know if we will go back. It's another question. Yeah.
Another question, so how are your children, how are they psychologically, are they getting support?
We all had support. We all met psychologists in a lot. The thing is with kids that they didn't really understand why they need to talk to some stranger person that asked them weird questions, so they didn't really participate. We are thinking that they are well, but they are not very well. For example, a week ago, one of the mothers from the kids' kindergarten came to us and she told us that her son told her that our son Omer said that we have dead bodies, like soldiers' bodies out of our house. And the kids was afraid to come and visit us, to come to our house. Omer meant that we had it in Kibbutz Reim, but the guy thought that we are talking about Chatzerim, so kids doesn't want to go and play with our kids. It's very sad, and we thought that they didn't saw all the bodies, but they saw. I'm always saying my soul got too many scars on it. It will never heal. I really hope that my kids soul will heal. This is what I really hope so, because from now on it's only about them. Yeah.
Shoshana mentioned that you've been at some college campuses. How were you received there?
It depends on which campuses. Some of the campuses it was okay. In some of the campuses, I had protesters that interrupt during the lecture and they were outside. I have to say that all over the campuses, the policemen, they were amazing. They helped us, and they were like my bodyguards. I never had bodyguards. It was like the first time that I had two big guys walking next to me and protecting me. But I really think that it's what I'm doing. There is a purpose and meaning for what I'm doing, and it's very important that I will go to campuses as well. And this is why I'm doing that. So I wasn't afraid, my friends, they recruited them to 5 months to fight in Gaza. So what is it for me to come and face few protesters? That's absolutely fine. I'm good. I'm okay with it. Each one of us got his own fight. Each one of us need to fight in his own way. This is my way. This is my war to come here and do what I'm doing. Yeah.
When, how long did it take you to realize that no one was coming, to help? How, could you tell more about, what went on in the room?
Well,
And, that must have been really.
we've been there at 6:30. We understood that about 7:30 that there was terrorists next to us. And I told my wife that we don't need to be afraid. There is like an army base around 5 minutes drive from us. And they will come to help us. And we waited and waited. And I kept told my wife until 2:30, 3:30 p.m. that it's not possible that there is no army here. Why don't hear the army? I didn't know that they took control all over the Gaza Strip. I didn't know that they destroyed the bases as well, and they killed all the soldiers. We waited a long time. Only at 2:30 they said that only the special forces arrived in our kibbutz. The best unit that the army is. They entered to fight with the terrorists. It was a long time that we waited. And I kept asking myself, how come it's not possible that there is no army? Yeah.
Do you think that the people that went through all of this will feel that they need to be better prepared to protect themselves in an emergency such as this?
We will protect ourselves much better. Nowadays we know that we need to count only on ourselves. We will be prepared. The thing is that all right, we'll get more M16. The next time they will come with drones. So how can you cannot really prepare yourself? It doesn't really matter what you will do. All right, so I will have thicker walls and I will have a safe room that I can lock it from the inside. We will be, the people in the kibbutzes will be much more prepared, but still, it's very hard to prepare yourself for that. Yeah.
Is the government helping your family and others that have been displaced with finding homes? Like you said, you have to move again, you don't know where you're going. Is the government providing any assistance in finding places?
The government gave us funds, all right. My wife, she didn't, after October 3rd, she didn't get back to work, so she get like some fees. It's too hard for her to go back to work now. She's not into it. The government do provide some funds for that, but the government, it's very hard to take care of like almost 150,000 people. If each one of us will go to the government and will say, all right, finally give me a solution, it's very hard. So what the government did, there was like all the hotels in Israel were fully packed with survivors. And many people nowadays, there's many people from up north that are like in those hotels. This is pretty much it. We pretty much like, for example, I don't know what I'm going to do in July. I can join the kibbutz in Tel Aviv. Otherwise, I need to find my own solution. This is it, I'm not fighting for other people to help me. I need to help myself as much as I can. Yeah.
If you could ask American Jews one thing that we could do to help support you and your family and all the other people who are now displaced, would it be like come to Israel and help us build something? Would it be raise funds and give it to what do you think?
I don't think. I know that many of the Americans came to Israel to have like food picking in Gaza envelope and like washing clothes of uniforms of soldiers. I personally don't think that this is what you guys need to do. I think that you need to take what you heard here today, be proud of what you are, stand up for yourself. You are great people. I think the most important thing that you people will stay here and fight for us. This is what I truly believe that you need to do. Not fight for us, fight for our people, for our Jewish people. So if each one of you will take it, I'm not saying that you need to start protesting against, take active words like that. For the next time that someone will come and say something about Israel or whatever you say, you can say, I heard it from a first person, those footage, no one saw them because like it's only people from Reim got those footages. Just stand up for yourself, be proud of what you are, never back down and never surrender. That's it. This is what I have to say. Yeah.
How are you and your wife coping? The children told us, but what about you?
That's amazing because most of the time people are asking me about the kids, which is the most important thing, but we are, to be honest, from that, we are not in a good condition because we have lots of argument between us, what we're supposed to do. All our talks is about our future and what to do and where to be. It's very confusing moments. 2 weeks ago we said, all right, it's enough. We put our kids with my mother, and we went to a hotel, just the two of us, just to relax. You can feel the tense. It's very intense. The days are very intense. We are arguing a lot. Sometimes it's good. It's good to argue with your wife, but nowadays it's maybe it's too much. But both of us went to psychologists. My wife keeps going to one. I'm always saying that. To be honest, I'm too lazy to go to the psychologist. It's okay to drive to go there. But this is what I'm doing here. It's my therapy. This is the best thing that I can do to myself. It's also very good for you people, but it's good for me as well. I see the impact that it does on other people. It fills me up and it gives me the power and the strength to move on. So, yeah.
Has this changed how you feel about living in the South or about living on Kibbutz?
Yes, of course. If it was like, if I will go back to Reim, for example, to live in Gaza, if it was just me and my wife, 100% we would have gone to live there. It's the best people that you will ever meet, and it's the most beautiful place that I personally think. But I'm a country boy. I come from the south, so but John Denver has a song, "Thanks God I'm a country boy." Thank God I'm a country boy. But the thing is that I cannot gamble on my kids' life again. It's just not fair for them. All right, I need to make choices for other people's life. And if I will feel that it will be too dangerous for them to go back there, and if things will not be changed, I'm not sure that we will go back. Because again, it's not fair. If they will be 18 years old, they can do whatever they want, but as long as I need to make their choices, it's a bit hard. And this is when I spoke about the argument. This is one of the arguments that we are saying, but like, I'm saying that maybe we will go back, and my wife she said that we will never go back, and you know she's the one that counts, you know she's the one that chooses in the end. I don't have a word. Yeah.
Good Jewish husband.
Exactly. You know, back home, I got my wife. She's telling me what to do and where to be and how to do things. And here I got Shoshana. She's the one that telling me what to do and where to be and even what to eat and everything. So every Jewish guy needs a woman to tell him what to do. Yeah. Yeah.
I hate to go back to the beginning, but I'm curious, why do you think they skipped over the house?
Everyone heard the question. You have to say it out loud.
When they came to the house, what do you think made them skip over the house?
Okay. It was much easier to them to go to other houses. They didn't have to kick other houses' doors. All right, they burnt houses that were like, as I said, my neighbor door was open. We just moved for our next door. They thought, all right, they cannot open this door. Let's shoot everything. That's it. And then they moved to the other house, to the next house. They had plenty of time. They didn't have to even to wait. Like they were no in a rush. We saw them on the videos. They just walked in the kibbutz. I got many other videos of them walking in the kibbutz just like that in some vacations, honestly. So they just moved to the next house. This is why they didn't walk my doors down with it.
I'm curious something.
Yeah,
You said you had a wooden door?
yeah.
You didn't have a pladelet?
The thing is that I moved, I didn't have a pladet. Yeah, anyone knows you need to explain what is pladet. Pladet is like a strong door. The thing is that where we live, I moved there. It's supposed to be a house for a year until I was about to start building a house in Kibbutz Reim, a permanent house, and we got really an old house till then. Well, there is not much crime in the kibbutz. I didn't thought that the terrorist ones will try to enter my house. Yeah, so this is why I didn't. That's it.
I don't hope this doesn't come off in a weird way, but you said you served in Givati.
Never say Givati. They are proud Golanchiks, so you cannot say. Yeah.
But was it a tactical reason that you didn't fight back in that situation? Like, must have been hard. Was there a time when you had decided, am I going to stay or am I going to go outside?
I knew that I cannot fight them.
Yeah.
Viv, the first one that was murdered, that I spoke of, he had an ex, and he tried to fight them, and well, one of them, he injured one of the terrorists, but eventually they killed them. And I only like bare hands, you know. I know. Maybe I know Krav Maga, but it will not affect if someone with AK-47 will start to shoot at you. So I pretty much had nothing to do. I was like useless. Like honestly, I was useless. There was nothing I can do.
Well, if you had a weapon, you would have put yourself, but you might not be here today. I think it's interesting.
If I would have a weapon and a gun or something, I would have stayed out of the safe room and wait for them out of the safe room. But I couldn't get out of the house because there were so many terrorists out of my house, not one or two, or three. There were plenty of. Pretty much you cannot do a lot with a gun, you know. Like,
Just to clarify though, I imagine that it would be a hard decision to stay and protect, knowing that that's probably the right thing. And it's an easier and stupider thing to do, to run out there with a knife or a shovel or something and try to help like that.
At some point, the security team, after they killed the terrorists, they thought about taking their AK-47 and give it to us. But imagine yourself, it's not that I'm I look like I'm from Sweden or something like that.
Right.
If I will walk with AK-47, I moved a week ago, no one will know me. Probably I will be the first one that everyone will take down. The soldiers and the terrorists as well. So they gave up on this idea. But yeah, next time it will be different. Nothing much we can do. That's all. Guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you got further questions, private questions, me and Shoshana will be here. Feel free to come and ask.